Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Whatever suits you. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Oh my gosh. I was just saying, I was like, I get nervous. It's like I feel like I just performed for everybody, even though that was totally obviously not live. It was filmed a month ago. But I'm just like, I get like, especially during like the hair hanging, I find myself being like really stiff. I'm like feeling as if I'm performing for you guys live, which is really funny as I'm like sitting on the couch with Luna next to my mom. But anyways, I just want to say thank you guys for being here. Like, I was really nervous to do this, wondering if anybody would like want to see it, a virtual show. Who knows in this world anymore what people want. And I just want to say thank you so much for like allowing me to do here I go again, getting emotional, for allowing me to do what I love so much. Like, I love doing this, and you guys make it possible, and you show up every time and allow me to do what brings me so much joy. And my team, like, when we were filming this, we were all just so full of gratitude that we got to make something, and that the dancers were like, it feels good to dance. And, you know, the guys that were doing the cameras, like, everybody was just like, grateful to be there. And so I just want to say you made such a difference to us by supporting this whole thing. Anyways, okay, you guys have a lot of questions you've been sending in, so I will just start. Favorite Christmas cookie. We sent a recipe for Mama Bear cookies. They're actually my business manager's cookies. She's made them for me when I'm on tour before. They're so good. And lately I've been really into Oreos and milk again. It's like I'm going back to my childhood. Okay, you're a source of strength. This is Elizabeth. Oh, and that was Todd. Thank you guys for your questions. Elizabeth said, you are a source of strength and inspiration to us. Thank you. Please share who inspired you as a child to first pick up the violin. It wasn't a specific person. It was that my parents really like classical music. And so they would play it on these old record players all the time. And sometimes they would take me and my sisters to these like community event orchestra concerts, and I just saw that the violinists always got the solos. They always got the fun, fast parts, and so that's why as a child I was like, I want to play that. I want to play the fast notes. So I got hooked. From Valerie, what's the most valuable lesson that you've learned this year? Oh, so much. I think this year has taught all of us so much. I think it's really taught me the value of balance again. I feel like that's a lesson I keep having to relearn. And I'm so grateful for the time I've spent with family. And it's just like a reset for reminding me of like what's actually important in life. So I think it's just been a huge year for that for me. Also, I've had a really hard mental health year, as I think a lot of people can relate to, just a lot more anxiety and days of depression. And it's taught me to really dig deep again and be like, I need to be intentional with how I think, and I can't just let my mind run wild. We gotta work on this. So that's been a really good thing for me to like relearn, because I've done that in the past and then I've just gotten a little lazy with it, because I'm able to hide behind being busy or like jumping on stage and being like, it's fine, everything's fine. And this year I couldn't do that. So it's been good for me. Did the I wonder as I wandered dust get on your violin at all? This is from Alicia. And was it easy to clean off? I used an older violin for that one that I wasn't going to be as worried about. I never would have used a wooden acoustic one. But for that very reason, I used an older violin that's carbon fiber. And so you could wipe it off, it had a texture that I felt would, and so it was able to clean off. The thing that was hard to clean off was our skin. We filmed it at the end of the day. We filmed 2 songs a day for this show, which was pretty intense because we also had to film skits. It was a lot. But we filmed that one last on one of the days, but we were filming the next morning. And when we went to go like wash off the dust had turned green on our skin. And my hands were solid green, like around my eyes and like around my nostrils. Like all of us were just, our arms green, and it would not come off. We had to like go get laundry detergent soap and scrub. And also our hair, we were all like, are we going to be green for the rest of this shoot? It was in the middle of the week. Anyways, that was kind of funny, but it came off yes, because obviously we weren't green in any of the numbers. Where did the inspiration for the dancer's costume in We Three Kings come from? You know, it's funny. On my tours in the past, I had a very literal approach to that number. I dressed them up like they were like kind of, like an old school king costume, and it was never. It never felt quite right to me, and so I thought for this, I wanted it to be like kind of modern and eclectic feeling. And actually, I got almost all this stuff from Dolls Kill, which is a really funky website. It's got a lot of like just really crazy like raver clothing on it and stuff. So I shopped there to style that one. So if you're looking for some good raver or some interesting, they've got really interesting stuff. Let's see. That was from Kelly. Thank you for your question, Kelly. What do I miss most about touring? There are so many things I miss most about touring. Oh, you were at the Live in London? Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So I think the thing I miss most is one, that feeling, like you said, of the audience, just like, there's nothing like that feeling and that connection that you feel with the audience. When I stand on stage and I look out into the audience faces, your faces, I get these amazing, intense feelings of like love for people, for you guys. As I look into your eyes, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish they could realize I'm going to get emotional again. I'm sorry. But it's like this powerful feeling where I just see things so clearly, and I see that every single person is amazing and special. And I'm like, oh, I wish they could tell how much I love them right now. Like I wish. And it's this really cool connection that I get pretty much only when I'm on stage performing. So I really miss that feeling. But in a way, I feel it right now as I talk to you about it, because I know you're there. And then also, I really miss just being on the bus with my tour family and my crew. And while we were filming this, we were all staying in an Airbnb, quarantined together. And it felt for a week and a half like life was normal. And it felt like we were back on tour, and it was like really special. What space was this filmed in? Michael is asking. It was filmed in Las Vegas at LMG. And oh my gosh, they're amazing. They've provided all the equipment for my tours for years. I have a great relationship with them, and they came through for me so much. They were so kind to me, and I could not have done this without them. How did I come up with the beautiful costumes from Haley? I love costumes so much. Like from the time I was a little girl, I was playing dress up, and I was making my own dresses and sewing. And so I did not sew fully any of the costumes for this. I did a lot of addition, like adding things to the costumes to like make them, will pop a little bit more, or like add embellishments to dancer costumes or my own. But some of them I bought offline. Some of them I borrowed. Like my friend Kim Del Grosso in Utah, she owns a dance studio, and I called her up. I was like, I'm out of money, and I still have more costumes. Do you have this? So it was just a combination of people really coming through for me and helping me. Some of them I drew pictures and designed and sent it, and a stylist made them happen. But I love designing costumes. And so it just kind of was, what does this number feel like? And it was really important for me to make every song feel very different, with costuming, with even my hair, and color palette. Almost every song had a very different color palette, because I just wanted every song to have its own feeling, texture. I edited everyone very differently, because I just really didn't want anyone to have a chance to get bored. What's my favorite Christmas song to play? To be honest, I love I Wonder As I Wander. That one just is so, I don't know. It just feels very like it's a testimony of my faith, but at the same time of being like an expression of my spirituality. It's like hardcore, and it's like kind of dark. And I kind of love that, because usually you think of spirituality like Angels We've Heard on High, something so sweet and like kind of, that makes you feel all the feels in a sweet way. That's what most of the time I think of as spirituality. But I wanted to do I Wonder As I Wander, the opposite. I wanted it to be dark and intense, and but yet I still feel a lot when I play it live. So that's one of my favorite songs that is my favorite song on my Christmas album. Let's see. Reagan asks, what's the most difficult part of to choreograph? How many attempts did it take to complete it just right? So I worked, Ashley Gonzalez choreographed this whole thing. She has danced with me or choreographed for me for years. So I can't take credit for any of the choreography. We work together. I'll give her tons of ideas, and then she just makes it so magical, and the movement is so cool. Like, I just, as I was watching, it was like, dang, Ashley did such a good job. She is so good. You guys should follow her on social media because she's amazing. Ashley Gonzalez. But yeah, it's funny how sometimes the easiest ones are the hardest. Like, for some reason, we all struggled a lot with We Three Kings, which most of it is just kind of movement to the beat. It was very simple choreography, most of it, but we all were like, why is this one the hardest? It's the easiest. But, sometimes that's the way it is. It's like, you focus so much on the really hard ones that the easier ones, you're like, where's my brain? Where's my brain? And of course, the hair hanging was definitely the hardest. And I did choreograph that one myself, which I was pretty proud of myself. I would just go into that studio every day and figure out what I could possibly do. And then I just put that list of the things I could possibly do in a sequence and spun around as much as I could. But that one was definitely the hardest to pull off. Especially because, I could only hang from my hair for so long. It was, as you saw, it was very painful. And I just was like, at a certain point, you just know when it happens, but you're like, I can't do it anymore, for today. Your neck can only hang on so long, as well as your head, your scalp. And so I was really nervous, but I hung for an hour to film that, which was a really long time. Because interestingly enough, if you let the pressure off, like if I was to like completely take a break, it was almost impossible to start again. So I literally hung for an hour to film that. We just didn't stop. Oh, it makes me have it makes me sweat just thinking about it. Okay. What went into the choice of the songs for the show? Nick is asking. Let me think about that. I think that I just thought of all the songs that I have, all my Christmas songs, and then I would just brainstorm ideas for hours, and I'd figure out what this song would be and what color it would be. Like I said, I wanted every song to be a different feel, a different style, a different color, a different costume. And so I was just trying to creatively think what is the point of this number? What's its point in the show? And then I, wrote out what every number would be, and then I picked my favorites. So it wasn't only about the music, it was also about what creative idea felt the most magical and flowed the best. So yeah. What's my favorite dinosaur? Katie wants to know. My favorite dinosaur. What's that little one in Jurassic Park that has the the thing that pokes out? I obviously need to learn my dinosaurs better, but that one is probably pretty cool. And then Olivia is 9 years old. She wants to know what's my favorite Christmas movie. I love It's a Wonderful Life. I watch it every year, and every year, no surprise to anybody, I cry at the end scene. Oh, it's so good. That's my favorite. Let's see, I'm trying to think what other ones. I mean, I have so many favorites. I love White Christmas. I like the classic ones a lot. Let's see. Peter, what was my most memorable performance? Ever? I'm going to say I love performing in France. France is my favorite country to perform in. Something about the water they drink over there, or it's in their bread or something. Those people are just so passionate and so I don't know. I just feel so much love. And I had my birthday in Lyon last year. And I just remember that show felt so perfect. It's impossible to have a perfect show. I'll always be like, dang it, that was a little flat, or this was that. But for some reason that night, everything felt magical and perfect. And I just, yeah. What was the most complicated piece to memorize and play out of the 10 songs? Anya is asking me that. What's interesting is I memorize all my music as I write it, because I don't ever I don't write them down while I write the music. I'm writing the song. I memorize them kind of as I'm writing. And so memorizing them, that's something I've always been good at, because when I was a kid, well, still to this day, I'm a terrible sight reader because I'm dyslexic. So I could never sight read music. And at the time, I didn't understand why. I didn't know I was dyslexic. But so I just got really good at memorizing songs because I couldn't read them. So I'd memorize them really quickly. And now that's become a really good gift. So it's like, it was kind of a curse at first. I was like, this is going to make it so hard to play the violin, but it's turned into quite the blessing. But the hardest one to play out of all 10 pieces, I think, I think with the choreography, Angels is one of the harder ones to play because it's so sweet and the music is so like slow, long notes, but yet the choreography is lots of spins. And so balancing like spinning choreography and slow notes is a little bit difficult. Oh, thank you, Ava. You were just saying, they were saying they loved the show. And thank you for holding your breath for me while I was hanging by my hair. Like I said, I got like super stiff. I was like, oh, here it goes. Let's see. How many hours a week do you practice? And when did you begin dancing while playing the violin? I'm your biggest fan, Madison, age 5. Thank you, Madison. It's so nice to meet you over this chat. Okay, hold on. Luna is scratching at something. Okay, sorry. But let's see. I started when I was a kid. I would practice about, I think it was 30 minutes a day when I was really little. When I was like, I started when I was a little bit older than you. I was 6 years old, and I had to practice at least 15 minutes, and most of the time 30 minutes a day. And that got more as I got older. And now it totally depends. Like right now, I've worked so hard, for the last few months. I'm actually kind of just practicing only when I want to. But when I was gearing up for the show, you better believe I was practicing hours a day, because I was practicing choreography and all that stuff. So it totally depends on where I'm at. When I'm on tour, I practice a lot because I'm like, I got to get out there. I got to be on point. Let's see. You also asked, I started dancing. I never had danced before in my life. I'd always loved dance, but I didn't start dancing until I was 23. And that's when I first started to teach myself how to dance. And that's when I started to combine it with the violin, which is kind of a crazy thought to think that I honestly was terrible. I'd never danced before I was 23. What are your strategies for coping or overcoming anxiety? Honestly, I'm still sometimes trying to figure that out. But I think for me, it's like, I have my people that I know I can turn to in those moments that will be there for me. And one of them is a really trusted friend that I can literally text and say, I'm having an anxiety attack, or I'm having a really hard day where I'm super down on myself today. Another, my mom, my sister. I have people that are like, these people I can trust with my emotions. And I know that they're not going to be like, okay, or like, I don't know what to say, or make me feel weird. They're going to share love with me. And so that to me is a huge thing. I also have a good therapist that I talk to. And so I think it's, for me, because I'm an extrovert and I like to talk out things, that's so helpful for me. Also, it's giving myself some grace. It's really easy when you start feeling these anxiety attacks to then beat yourself up and be like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? I'm a wreck. I'm a disaster. I can't do this, So it's good to stop the spiral and just say, like, deep breath. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to feel this way. Allow yourself to feel what you need to feel. It's only going to get worse if I keep beating myself up for feeling the way I do, because I can't help that that's the way I feel. So those are some of the things I do. And I'm working on figuring out, what are my triggers? What are the things that make me be like that sometimes? And that way I can prepare better. Do I have any Christmas Eve traditions? From Allie Bird. Allie Bird. We do Christmas pajamas every year, and I love that. They get dropped off at our door by Santa's elves, and then we take pictures in our Christmas PJs. I love that. It's my birthday. Happy birthday. This is a happy birthday, Darren. What are my self-care go-tos? You know what? I've learned through COVID, I like TV. I like Netflix shows. I never actually knew that. I always thought I didn't really like it because I was like, nah, I like to be busy and I like to work. And of course I do. I love being busy. I love working. But COVID has taught me, because I had time to sit there and, binge watch things at the very beginning. And I was like, wow, I like watching TV. And I just never allowed myself really to do that. Shame on you, Lindsey. So that's become something that I really like to do. It's just like, I love to watch something while I do something creative. And even if that's like coloring in a coloring book, or if it's like sewing something, or I love to just do a slight creative something with my hands while I watch something. I don't know. Great British Baking Show has been my new thing. Who would have thought? Jeanette, do you have a bucket list? I do. It's not it's like I have a list of a bunch of goals. Hanging by my hair was one of them. Check. Let's see. What is my favorite sweet? I love sweets. Cookies. Cookies were it's all about for me. I love cookies and milk. They have to have, if I don't have milk, it's almost not worth it. Let's see. Celine is saying, what's your favorite book? If you're talking fiction, fiction, nonfiction, I can never remember. If you're talking about fantasy or like something that's not true or a story, I love Harry Potter. I read them twice. I love the movies. That's definitely my favorite. And then if you're talking like, I love inspirational books that just kind of help your mind think better. And so I love Brene Brown. She talks a lot about shame. I just read one that was called Think and Grow Rich, which sounds like it's all about money, but it's actually not. It's about manifesting and believing in yourself. And honestly, that book helped me get through hair hanging because he talked so much about like so many people quit when they're almost there. It's the people that are willing to push past that like breaking point that succeed. Because everybody at one point thinks I can't do this with whatever they're doing. And then there's some people that are just willing to push a little bit harder past when it feels impossible. And those are the people that succeed. So anyways, that book got me through it. Do I go to therapy? Yes. I mean, now it's virtual, but yeah, I have a therapist I talk to. And, I didn't do it enough at the beginning of this year, frankly. I was like, I'm good. I can handle this, but I'm realizing that, I think that therapy, well, I've always thought therapy was really good, but I'm like, you know what? I should never shy away from it because I think I'm good. Like, I think it's just good maintenance. It's like we're all these cars that are constantly breaking down. So you just got to have a little bit of maintenance. What Christmas song would you want to perform or record that I haven't yet? I love the song Mary Did You Know and Oh Holy Night. And I tried to make, my own rendition of both of those. And they just didn't come out like I wanted them to. I just was like, these aren't very good. They didn't pay homage enough to the songs that I love. And so I didn't put them on my album. So who knows? Maybe someday in the future I'll do another Christmas EP or something. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. What is Ashley saying? You're such a beautiful performer. What are some inspiring words for people to keep fighting on, even through obstacles that keep coming their way? So Ashley, honestly, I think the best words of advice I have is that when you feel that way, when you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm being hit by so many obstacles, or this is too hard, or like, I don't know if this is worth it. Like all those thoughts that you're having, just remember that you're in good company. Everybody that has ever succeeded has thought them before. Like literally, like just remember that you're not alone in that. Cause it's sometimes easy to think to yourself that like, as if you're the only one that's ever felt that way. I know that that's how I feel. And, hair hanging for me, I know I keep talking about it, but it was a really good reminder to me that I can do hard things. And I came home one day from it and I was talking to my roommate and I was like, this is too hard. Like it hurts so bad. And instead of being like, oh, maybe you should quit. She's a professional ballerina and she is incredible. She actually is in the Santa Baby music video. She taught me to dance on point. She was like, okay, it's hard. Of course it's hard. Anything worth doing, Lindsey, is really hard. She's like, the first time I put on point shoes, whenever I teach new students, they all think it's impossible. And yet they do it. They come back the next day. She's like, go back tomorrow and try again. And I think it's reminding yourself, oh, hard things are in everybody's lives and we all can get through it. Those thoughts aren't unusual that you're having. You just got to keep moving through and remember that I've been through it. Everybody's been through it. Watching from Germany. Hello, Desiree. It must be late over there. Oh my goodness. Thanks for joining us so late. Who designed my lighting sets? So I have a guy I've toured with for years. His name's Andrew Nisley, and he designed all the lighting. And so he's amazing. He's done my stuff for years, and I love him so much. And then also we had a girl named Maddie on site with us who was tweaking the lighting design to fit the set. So we had kind of two lighting designers. It was pretty cool. Oh, someone said, Andy says, I love the videos you and your roommate post. How long have you known her? So my roommate, Laura, and we've been roommates now for like 2.5 years. And we actually met pretty closely before that. We met a few months before that and just instantly clicked and, just became buddies and ended up being roommates. So yeah, she is amazing. And it's so important to have good friends in your life. Like when you find those people that you're like, oh my gosh, we're soul friends, the kind of friends that uplift you and that support you for real. Those people are like, you got to keep those in your life. And it's so important to surround yourself with that. Annabella, what inspired the costumes for the Grinch? For some reason, I always describe that song when I did the music video or like whenever I don't know, for some reason, the style that we did that song in always makes me think of like showgirl. Like I always say family friendly burlesque because I don't want to be like burlesque. I don't want to go too far, but at the same time, like the showgirl essence of burlesque is even what I told Ashley when she was choreographing it, so yeah, that's what inspired the costumes behind that. And again, those were ones that I was able to borrow from my friend Kim Del Grosso in Utah. Thanks, Kim. Shout out. You're the best. But yeah, they were so beautiful. Whew, it's so hard when you have to give a costume like that back. It's like, oh, because I just love costumes. My sister. Lisa says, my sister asks, what was the most beautiful moment for you this year? Honestly, I loved getting to spend time with my sister and my mom and my nieces in Missouri at the beginning of COVID. Like it was so hard that like my tour was canceled and I like felt so displaced and I didn't know what the heck to do. And but then once I got to my sister's house, I was surrounded by like family, and it's the fact that I got to spend 3.5 months with family. Like I haven't had that since I was in high school, and just my nieces, I'm obsessed with them. They're so cute. And so just developing a relationship with these little twin nieces, it was very special. What's my favorite pizza place? Dang it. Jess, can you remember what it is? My manager is on here. Maybe she could text me. There is one in New York City that we go to. Oh my gosh. They have like this pink sauce instead of like straight up marinara. It's a pink sauce for the base of the pizza. But I love New York City pizza in general. So good. And then if I'm in Europe, I love, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of it. Vapiano's. Oh, it's an Italian place. They have pizza as well and pastas. But when I'm in Europe, I literally look so forward to any time there's a Vapiano's nearby. There's a couple in the States as well. Anyways, I was wondering about right now, aside from the violin, what is your favorite musical instrument? Oh, well, McKenna, she says that she just took up the violin. Congrats, that's exciting. But let's see, my favorite instrument aside from the violin, I love the piano and I love the cello. Those are my two favorites. But anyways, if there's no other questions, I know I tried to get to as many as I could. I hope I did them justice, but I just want to say again, I hope you guys loved the show. From us to you, I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays wherever you're at. I hope that you get to be with people that you love. And if you don't get to be with people you love, I hope you reach out to people and you let them know how special they are to you. And anyways, a reminder also that you can watch the show again for 72 hours. It is yours. You have a ticket that lasts for 72 hours. So you can rewatch it. or if you had any sort of technical difficulties, heaven forbid, fingers crossed that didn't happen. But if so, you can watch it again. So I hope, anyways, hope you enjoyed it. It was a joy to make, and just can't thank you enough for supporting me through all of this time. I hope you feel my love. Bye.